Good morning, NBC. This is Pastor Charlie coming to you with the Word of God today for September 6th, Tuesday, 2022. Reading from Genesis chapter 19, verses 30 through 38, the NIV. Lot and his two daughters left Zoar and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar. He and his two daughters lived in a cave. One day, the older daughter said to the younger, "Our father is old, and there is no man around here to give us children, as is the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine, and then sleep with him and preserve our family line through our father." That night, they got their father to drink wine, and the older daughter went in and slept with him. She was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, "Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight and go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father." So they got their father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went in and slept with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites of today. The younger daughter also had a son, and she named him Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites of today. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Now, just to look at this snippet, it's a very odd story, shocking. And we're talking about a whole lineage of people that are birthed out of incest, father-daughter incest. There's also, of course, alcohol involved. Surprising thing is that Lot did not have memory of this happening. How, what was in that drink, right? I mean, it's some seriously shocking, and it's one of those stories that is really hard to take in. But this is in context. Not too long ago, we had the background. Lot and his family were stationed in the Sodom, which was going to receive the judgment of God in a very big way. So the culture of Sodom that God saw fit to destroy, well, this could be the influence. We also remember when Lot was trying to spare the two guests that he has over his house. He offers his two daughters, virgin daughters, mind you, betrothed, actually pledged to be married to young men. Just offered them to an angry mob of men who were purporting to gang rape his two angel guests, right? Later on, just before this, when the judgment is about to happen, and he warns the two young men just to pack up and get out of here, they thought he was joking. There was no seriousness. As a man, Lot's portrait is of a failure. It's a dismal failure as a man, has no weight. And I guess the last ditch effort to preserve this kind of a righteousness was shown, demonstrated, displayed when he was trying to play the grand host to the two stranger guests who happened to be angels of God, who ironically saved Lot and his daughters by striking the men of Sodom with blindness. It's a gruesome story, but I want to point out that at least of the Moabites were looked down upon by the Jews, right? They're foreigners. They're pretty much seen as foreigners. They did not make the cut of the Abrahamic line through the line of the promise of Isaac, nor did like the Ishmaelites, right? But right after we're done with the story of Kings, no, actually it's before Kings, right? After Judges, we see a story of Ruth, who is a heroine, who's heralded by her faithfulness to her mother-in-law Naomi. She happens to be a Moabite, and Ruth is mentioned in the genealogy of Jesus Christ. Ruth is the great-grandmother of King David. These things happen, but we only look at the incidents of what happened, and it's an atrocity for sure. To be sure, it is. But God makes something happen out of the wrecks of their lives that we witness today. So whenever, that's the good news, really. No matter how far they have gone in the loss and the disarray, God can bring it back around, and He doesn't just leave it abandoned. God is continually drawing people to Himself and redeeming them. That story, my friends, my brothers and sisters, is basically the connective thread of the entire Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. It's an ongoing thing. So that is kind of the gaze, the window that we have to the mission of God. He is up to something really big, and He's doing that since the beginning. These days, we're like experiencing right now like a pretty tremendous heat wave here in California. I think coming out in the morning, it was like almost 90. But there's a judgment of God impending, and in the meanwhile, God and His people are busy redeeming people one soul at a time. So may it be the case that we too would embark upon this and participate in the salvific work of God, which is the mission of God, Missio Dei. Have a wonderful week in the Lord this week. May it be a triumphant one for His name and His glory.